Hi, folks. My name is Girish, the host for Back to Basics, another Back to Basics for another week for season three. Today, we're going to speak with Ericka Thomas, and we're going to find out why did we title our episode "Stop Working Out." Well, we'll find out when we get on the episode. But then we all know that exercise is good for you, or is it? Or is it better for you? Why don't we just find out when we get on the episode? But she's an amazing person to chat with. So why don't we talk to her and get on to back to basics? So I'll talk to you there. Hey, folks. My name is Girish, the host for Back to Basics. Back to Basics for another week, as I said on my intro. Today we're going to speak with Ericka Thomas, to be exact. And you know what? We're talking about, do we stop working out or do we work out? And is it necessary? I mean, we all know it's necessary. But the thing is, a lot of people, they think that it's not. And it's weird. There's a lot of people like that. And I've already said that on the intro. So I'm going to stop wasting my time talking to you and let's go and talk to the guest and get to know her better. Ericka, how are you? And thanks for coming to Back to Basics.
Thank you, Girish, for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for being here, and thank you again for all the support that you've given me. And we've talked offline, so thank you again for that. Before we start the talk about what I've already said in the intro and the title of the episode today, um, what does back to basic mean to you?
Ultimately, because I'm coming at this from the fitness industry, to me, back to basics is really getting to a true understanding and awareness of the mind body connection at the level of the nervous system. And for myself and for my colleagues in the fitness industry, I think at its most basic level, that is what our job is for our clients, for our students, is to help them become more aware of what's going on in their own body.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you again, and thank you again for being here on this small podcast that I have here. Erica, why fitness is so important in our lives. And I've mentioned this numerous times in all my episodes when it comes to health and fitness and nutrition episodes. But why health is so important or fitness so important in our lives?
Well, from my point of view, uh, fitness in general, the importance of it goes far beyond what the eyes can see. I think most of us think about fitness and exercise as a way to change our body from the outside so that we can look a certain way and maybe feel stronger as well. But what we're really doing is influencing our mental health and our spiritual health just as much, if not more, than that physical, uh, visual result from exercise.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you again. You know, we do get body shamed. I mean, a lot of people do, right? With that with that negativity that people they throw at people, meaning verbally, not physically, obviously. Is that the trend that we're looking at, that because of this negativity they want to start the fitness, or do they go to a doctor and saying the doctor says bad news and that's when we start? I mean, which way is more trending nowadays, according to you?
That is a really interesting question, actually, Garish. So I'm glad you asked that. I had a yoga mentor one time um, tell me that really people make decisions from only two places.
Hmm.
One is out of fear and one is out of love. And that could be applied to our choices regarding health as well.
Hmm.
And so when I talk to clients, when I talk to the world through social media and through my coaching, I often say that we need to stop working out and start working in. And that's really what I'm talking about, is first coming to a deeper awareness of why you are choosing the things that you're choosing, right?
Mm,
Do you come to the gym because you're afraid of something, whether that's a health diagnosis or maybe something in your family history that is driving you that you
mm,
don't want to repeat?
mm,
Or are you coming to this new habit pattern of health from a place of love, where you love yourself enough to take care of yourself in a different way, whether that's how you move, how much you move, why you move, or what you put on your plate, what you put into your body, what you consume as far as media. All kinds of things can count as far as health.
mm. So is it safe to say when you, or when I say you, I mean everyone, when they get body shamed verbally, we should feel, I don't know, good innerly first before we start? Is that the right approach, do you think?
I I think what you're asking is, when you're trying to change something about yourself, um, is it because of somebody else's opinion of you, or is it because of your own opinion? Is that what I'm
I
hearing?
think someone else's opinion, as I'm, yeah.
Right, right. So a lot of things drive us, right? And society and culture is really powerful in its influence on what we choose to do. And some people respond by hiding or avoiding that, and layering on external ways to feel better, right? That might
Mm,
be with food, that might be with alcohol or drugs. They can take things in that are not necessarily healthy to make themselves feel better on the inside.
mm,
Or, if we flip that, if we instead are looking at, what the source of our discomfort is in the body. Is it coming from outside of us, or is it coming from inside of us? And
mm,
once we can become more aware of that discomfort, because people are going to say mean things, right? They're going to say, I mean, you've mentioned a couple times body shaming, right? That doesn't necessarily come in a direct frontal attack, right?
right, right.
Sometimes you can find body shaming in subtle ways, on the covers of magazines, on what we see on television, what we hear coming out of our parents' mouths about what is attractive or unattractive, and
Right.
and things like that, right? So it's not necessarily someone specifically attacking you, per se, but these are messages that they can be internalized from a very young age. We get these ideas about who we are from a very young age. And then we sort of live them out as an adult. If we are not conscious and aware of how our upbringing, how our belief systems have sort of become ingrained in us, then we can just kind of follow in those footsteps, sometimes over exercising, sometimes pushing ourselves into disordered eating patterns in reaction to these messages,
Mm,
right? These
mm,
things that we are not really conscious of anymore because we have grown up with them. They are our new normal.
mm,
Right? So it would be very obvious to you as an adult, Girish, if somebody approached you on the street and said something to shame you in your body. And as an adult, it would you would think that you would be able to say, well, you know, I'm not listening to you, but we carry all those messages inside. And they run on repeat in our mind. And then when something happens in our world that reinforces them, the brain is just like, oh yeah, remember, because we already know that we feel bad about ourselves. And
Yeah.
here's somebody else that is reinforcing that.
Yeah, I mean, I
So,
I want you to understand. I mean, sorry to interrupt you.
no.
I don't want to keep on saying body shame. That's just an example. I mean,
Mhm.
think about people who get shamed on wearing yellow or red or some bright color, which you're not supposed to, or a person named by like a comedy show called Everybody Loves Raymond, and the father calls him Nancy. So you say that
Mm.
in
Yeah.
house, it affects people later when they grow up. I mean, am I right on
Mm.
that?
Well, I would think so. Yes, I think so. I mean, up until the age of about 7, we don't really have the ability to filter out and anything that we're exposed to.
Right.
And even at the age of 7, of course, that's just when that part of our brain development begins. So we're not really very savvy about it.
Right, right.
So up until then, we are just absorbing everything in our environment, and that really shapes us.
Right.
And this is actually the source of a lot of trauma reactions as adults, where you see people having really severe trauma responses to things that don't seem very traumatic on the surface. And it's because we carry these layers of reaction and survival response that we have learned how to survive from that young age. So it's a fascinating thing. The
Mm.
human brain is a fascinating thing, and the important piece to remember as far as fitness and health and wellness is that our mind is not separate from our body, and our body is not separate from our mind. And that is really key, because so much of our mental health can be um, supported by what we do for our physical health,
Mm.
more than what we even understand today, and we're learning more about it every day.
Yeah. Thank you again. And I'm not shaming those the comedy shows. I love those comedy shows. Is but that but the it's like the way you say to kids is you have to double think nowadays because it will affect them later when they get older.
Sure.
So thank you again for that. You know, we are very close to our families. I mean, so are you, right? But then there are certain words and certain behaviors. How do you confront the family members besides hurting them when you confront them? Because that is
Mm.
also an inner feeling, an inner mind. So how do you channel that positivity and negativity on that?
Well, that's a big question. And I will say, first up front, I'm not a therapist of any
Right.
kind. I
Yep.
work with the body.
Yep. Yep.
So this feels like it's pushing into that kind of category.
Yeah.
But what what we could tease out of that question would be a sense of self esteem, a sense of self mastery, and boundaries for
Mm,
oneself. So we
mm,
don't always have to confront. I've maybe a situation calls for that, but we don't always have to confront things like that
mm,
from our past, um, because it's not always helpful to dig things up. And while in some cases, yes, we may want to do that and to find some resolution, not all relationships are the kind of relationships where you could find resolution there with that
right.
confrontation,
That's right.
right? So it would be different for everyone. This is a very general question you've asked, right?
Of course. Of
And
course.
and the situation would be very, very personal.
Mm,
But ultimately, what what I would say is that to thine own self be true, you know, um, and if you can really know yourself first, then it becomes less important what other people think of you.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you again. And I know that you're not a psychiatrist or anything like that, but but it does play a physical and a mind
Mm,
play. So I want people to understand that there are two different realms that we're talking here. So let's not mix up these two things here. Now,
mm.
when it comes to fitness and when it comes to exercise, okay, what are the home exercises that do you recommend? What is the mind exercise that you recommend to others?
Mm. Okay, so just first off, you need to have an intention.
Okay.
So if you want to start from scratch, like straight off the couch,
Hmm.
everyone needs to know what it is they want. And that seems like it should be an easy question to answer as far as fitness goes. And on the surface, in true change, have you need to go deeper than the surface. You need to go inside and understand why it is that you want whatever it is you want. So let's see if we can work with an example, right?
Yeah.
So if your intention is to, let's say, lose 10 pounds, okay, um, and you have never exercised before,
Hmm.
then that is going to be a step by step difference than someone who's already physically active and comes in and says, hey, I want to lose 10 pounds,
Hmm.
10 pounds that I can't lose, that I've tried everything to lose,
Hmm.
right? Those two different people, same 10 pounds, two different people. So, um, what I often see, what I have seen in myself, my own personal life, is that many times people start off with a false perception of what their physical reality is. In other words, they look in the mirror and they see something, they see imperfection, and they somehow want to change it on the outside.
Hmm.
And um, and no matter what you tell them, they will see something. Whatever they see in the mirror is the truth.
Hmm.
And that can come from, like we've already touched on, messages that they've gotten from their whole life, you know, from a young age about who they are and what they look like. And so if they're carrying all of these negative messages, there's going to be a fight. Okay. So there's going to be a fight against their body to change it. And we don't want that. So if you want to start a fitness program, great. We can start by moving, walking, jogging, something simple, but something that you will do, that you will do on a regular basis.
Hmm.
And then we ask the mind to change what it's thinking, to
Hmm.
kind of remap or rewire itself to a new way of thinking about what you look like and how you feel in your own skin. Because if you can't change how you feel in your own skin, it doesn't matter what changes happen. You could drop that 10 pounds and still feel like you still have 10 pounds to lose.
Hmm. Thank you again for that. You know, this question or statement has come up many, many times over the years when I've been doing fitness and fitness program. People, they say, don't follow the weight program, follow the trimming program, which means that follow the inches instead of the weight, because
Mm,
everyone's weight is differs, right?
mhm.
Your weight
Yeah.
could be same as mine, it doesn't really matter. But if you look slim or slimmer or trimmed down, whatever the word you want to use, I think that's the right measurement. Is that wrong or is that correct?
No, no, you're not wrong. I mean, I think we get hung up on the number on the scale, right?
Right.
And we use a number on the scale because it's an easy measure. And that's it. It's just a simple, easy way to measure progress. That's why we use it
Hmm.
so often. Um, but you're right. In one respect, we're looking to change body composition. Okay, so yes, that will change the way you look. It will change the way your clothes fit, right? Kind of rearrange your body weight. And it won't necessarily change your weight because, it doesn't necessarily have to. You can change your body composition and not really change your weight a whole lot, but look
Hmm.
very different,
Hmm.
right? And that's great. But what I would suggest is that we add another layer to that goal setting process, and to add something about how you feel in your body.
Hmm.
So maybe that is a strength goal. Maybe it's a balance goal.
Hmm.
Maybe it's a flexibility goal.
Hmm.
Maybe it is a sleep goal, because if we can use our movement and exercise routines to help us get better sleep at night, we are going to feel 100% better, more energized, stronger. It'll be easier to move,
Hmm.
uh, really, than anything else that we can do. As sleep
Hmm.
is the key to so many things in our overall health.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of a missing piece in a lot of our goal setting about, how we want to look in our clothes, and,
Hmm.
how if we want a six pack, or cut shoulders, or whatever it is that is on our list to
Hmm.
do in the gym.
Yeah, but Erica, thank you again. The reason why I asked that is because let's say I'm 100 pounds and I go to gym every time, do all the fitness stuff, whatever I need to do, and I'm still 100 after, and I feel great after maybe a year, let's say a year, okay? And I'm still 100. People have to understand that 100 a year ago was 100 pounds fat versus
Hmm.
today is going to be 100 pounds strength and
Right.
muscle. So
Yeah.
people have to understand that the weight is the right approach, but then it's also not the right approach. Am I right on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. There's always, we're always looking to balance things, right? we
Right.
we want to find balance, and the body is always trying to balance. So maybe your body wants to be 100 pounds. It wants to
Right.
be 100 pounds, so it's going to be 100 pounds, whether it's uh, made of lean muscle mass or made of fat. So um, I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, part of me is like, well, you're only 100 pounds. I think I want to feed you more.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Exactly. Erica, thank you again for that. Just like what the title is for this episode is stop working out. A lot of people they say that, but how do we change their minds? I mean, we've mentioned this numerous times that you have to set up a goal, you have to set up, you know, uh, a vision for yourself, what you see in yourself for, let's say, 4 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Is that the right approach? Or how do we change their minds? Because I'm not a fitness guy. How do I start this fitness program for myself?
yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, um, ch- changing, this is a great time to be talking about this, because as we're recording this, it's, almost the new year, right, Girish? Everybody has New Year's resolutions, and they want to start something new. And in yoga, we talk about these things called samskaras, and they are habit patterns, basically, and we all have them. And so if you are not an exercise guy or girl, if you and some of my friends are like this, if you absolutely hate exercise, that is going to be a very difficult samskara, a very difficult habit pattern to change. And so it's really not um, it's not it's not necessarily a great idea to try to do it all at once, right? Where
Right.
we decide January 1st, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out for 2 hours straight. And then I'm going to sit in the sauna for 30 minutes because I heard that was really good. And then I'm going to go take an ice bath because I heard that was really good. And I'm going to do that all on January 1st and every day after that. I can tell you, there's a very rare human being that will do that for more
Right.
than a day. I mean, it's just not. It's just not. Um, it's not that it's not possible, but it's unrealistic to expect to change every habit that you have all at once. So why not start with one?
Hmm.
Why not start with one thing? So if you want to get into exercise, then what is the exercise that you think you could do consistently 3 to 5 days a week for 30 to 45 minutes every
Hmm.
time?
Hmm.
What is that exercise for you?
Hmm.
I mean,
You asking you asking
yeah,
me this,
yeah,
or
it's a real question. Real
well,
question, Girish.
for
What is that?
me, I mean, I walk every day. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, I go to the gym. I mean, I think it's a wrong question for me, but I mean, if you're talking about, let's say, a morning routine,
Yeah,
I go for a walk in the morning.
yeah, yeah. So
That
he, so
actually
he,
clears my mind.
yeah, exactly. And that is really important that you said that because there are some types of movement that are actually a moving meditation that
Mm,
if you allow them to be, they can help you retrain those mental habit patterns around your mindset around exercise and everything else, just make you feel so much better. And all you have to do is move and then draw your attention back enough to just kind of keep this open observation of the thoughts that run through your head. And you
mm,
just become more aware and you start to notice thoughts, and those thoughts that are all of a sudden, hey, I didn't realize that I was saying this thought to myself every single day and it's super negative. I think I'm going to replace that with some other thought. And
mm,
then think something new. And it will tie itself in because you're moving at the same time. It is mapping something new between the body and the mind, creating this new relationship, right?
mm, mm.
And I think for a lot of people, they don't think of walking every day as exercise because it's
Right.
too easy. We think we have to go to the gym and do something super hard, but the body doesn't think it's too easy. The body wants to do something like this rhythmic movement.
Mm.
It's soothing to the nervous system. And
Well,
if you soothe the nervous system, now we can really change what's going on in the mind and the body
mm,
and really affect that mental health. And we get outside and we get sunshine, we get fresh air and all these wonderful things.
yeah. I mean, whoever's listening to this, and thank you again, Erica, and whoever's listening to this, here's a tidbit for you because I do this quite often. If you sit on the chair and you get up from the chair, try to get up from the chair by holding without holding the handles. Just get up and see how much strength you have. That shows how much strength do you have on your legs, how much strength you have on your lower body, because then that shows that do you need support when you get up or you do not need support. And I've learned this over the years when I've practiced this. And I realized that I don't need any support when I get up. Think of this is when you get older, whoever gets older, and everyone gets older, right? We need to support ourselves, not the crane. So think of that. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Erica?
I love that you brought this up because what you're talking about is the activities of daily living that we do, right?
Yeah.
Standing up, sitting down, and 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 along with that, getting to the floor and being able to stand up off of the floor,
Yes.
reaching overhead, twisting, reaching behind you. Think of these movements that we do and we don't think about them, right?
Mm,
We
mm,
don't think about them. Shoveling snow. right? Some of us had some snow recently, right? These kinds of activities, the ones that are natural to the human body, we need to support that movement with strength, flexibility, and mobility. And so if you are setting up some kind of exercise routine, we need to think about those movements and include those in. So exactly what you're talking about, Girish, right? Standing up and sitting down, the squats. And I have so many clients talk about, oh, I hate squats. I'm like, well, you do squats every day. You do them. You do them every day. You just don't think about them, and you probably are not doing them correctly because of
Mm,
that, right? And
mm,
so we want to make sure we have good form and we reinforce the patterns of movement in the body with good form, with strength, right? And
mm,
so the more often you use a crutch, or the arms on your chair to lift yourself out of the chair, the more often you lean on those things, the more often you have to hold on to something to stand on one foot, the more you lose,
mm,
right? You lose the strength in the body. You will eventually lose the ability to move like that.
mm.
It will shorten your
Well,
range of motion, and that strength will atrophy. But it doesn't have to stay that way forever. So any age, you some just have to moving in a different.
yeah, I mean, people, they have to understand the day-to-day life that we go. I mean, we walk,
Mm-hmm.
we throw garbage, let's say, we that's a walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, they clean garages, that's also a walk, and some type of body movement. When
Right.
I keep on saying walk, but I mean like movement to your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also challenges your mind that you need to move from left to right or right to left. I mean, it's all about exercising your mind, exercising your body, all at the same time. Am I right on that?
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. I think in our current culture, we're so still all the time
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, we so many jobs are just sitting still at a screen like we are right now. But I have to say, I apologize. I'm fidgeting a little bit today underneath, just a little tap underneath the desk. But really, that's a cultural societal thing that's
Mm,
very recent in our history.
mm.
It shouldn't be that way, and really, that change has come faster than our human bodies have been able to evolve
Mm.
for it.
Erica, thank you again for being a sport of answering these questions. You know, now we have a new segment on season 3 for Back to Basics, which is the rapid fire round. I have some
Oh,
few words and few sentences, and you tell me what's the first thing comes pop of your head, and we'll just talk about that. Is that okay?
okay, sounds fun.
Awesome, awesome. So the first word is going to be fitness,
Hmm. Cycling,
mind,
body,
body,
uh, strong,
soul,
expansion,
mental health,
hmm, trauma informed,
yoga,
breath,
fear,
hmm, curiosity,
love,
kindness,
inner,
peace,
wellness,
hmm, happiness,
goal,
intention,
rewire,
neuroplasticity,
okay, habit,
goals,
routine,
5 a.m.
okay, um, back to basics,
A really excellent podcast.
and the last one is Erica.
Growing.
Awesome. Ericka, thank you again for being a sport on playing this new game that we started for season 3. I hope you enjoyed and didn't really challenge you much.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Awesome, awesome. So, Ericka, before we let you go today, and thank you all for the support. What are your thoughts on being on Back to Basics? And do you have any last words for all my Back to Basic listeners?
Yes. Well, first of all, this has been a fantastic experience, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share some of what I talk about every single day with you all. And I just want to encourage your listeners in the new year to maybe think about their health and wellness, whether that's mental health, physical health, spiritual health, um, with a new set of eyes, maybe some curiosity, and think about doing things in a little bit of a different way. The mind and the body both like new things. And so we want to give them a lot of new things
Mm,
to change.
mm. Wow, Ericka, thank you again for being coming on Back to Basics on season 3. You have supported me even offline, and we have chatted. So thank you again for being here, and thank you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, guys, we spoke with Ericka today, and we talked about the basics of, well, fitness and health and mind. Actually, that was the main one, wasn't it? And we also talked about that we always need to exercise our minds. We always need to exercise our body. But the thing is, it has to be a habit or a routine. That's the main thing. Because you know what? I do exercise every day. So is that a habit or a routine? Why don't you answer that question? How about that? So here's a quote of the day from Back to Basics. And the quote is, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Actually, that's kind of true because that's the only vessel that we live in till we pass on. But so enjoy that body that you have, enjoy the mind that you have, and make that strength, make it stronger day by day. So, guys, thank you again. What do I always say at the end of the episode? Everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time on Back to Basics.
Hi, my name is Ericka Thomas, and I want to give a big thank you to Back to Basics for inviting me over. Don't forget to subscribe and keep on listening. Remember, everything in life is going back to basics.
Hi, guys. Thank you again for tuning in to Back to Basics and listening to the excellent episode that we had today with our guest. You know, with your love and support, we do need you to at least rate our show, review our show, because it does make us stronger day by day, week by week, as I usually say on my episodes. And there are 3 things in this episode that it makes a hit for me, which is the content, the guest, and definitely the host. So guys, take care, God bless, and remember, everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care, God bless, and see you next time on Back to Basics.